Alright my dudes, I'm Exelia and welcome to my channel. Come in, get comfy and let's chat about cosplay. Hello and welcome back to another cosplay get ready with me. Today's video I'm going to be getting ready as Shallotte Elminus or Shallie from Atelier Shallie. So if you would like to see how all of this came together, just keep on watching. Hello and welcome to another Get Ready With Me. Today, well this afternoon, I'm going to be filming the preliminaries for the World Cosplay Summit. I did mention this in my last video. If you're not familiar with what a Get Ready With Me is, it's basically I sit here, I put makeup on, I chat along the way, and at the end of it I will show you roughly what it turns out like. I've actually got most of the costume out as well, so this will be a little bit different from when I tried Estelle, because obviously I didn't have the costume for Estelle, but with this one I'll be able to show you at least like this kind of framing of what the costume's gonna look like. Shallie was one of the last costumes that I wore actually. It was still over a year ago, so it's quite a while, but it's a makeup routine that is relatively comfortable. I think the costume looks fine, so I figured while recording the prelims this was an ideal costume to wear. It's not too, I mean, it's loads of bright colours, but it's not too distracting. There's not too much going on. It's just kind of like comfy and easy and should help me get into the jive of things. I've got my wig here. This is unfortunately discontinued, so it's kind of pointless telling you what it is, but I'll tell you anyway. This is a Jaguar from Art Wigs in Laurel Green, which I think they've fully discontinued. When I was making Shallie, I looked at so many different wigs, and I couldn't find one that was like the right kind of colour for what I wanted. This one is as close to what I was after as possible. And with the rest of the colours on the costume, I sort of adjusted the colours to make sure that this would look nice, so that's what we got. Unlike the last video, I put my hair up in like a wig net and then also with the wig band and stuff right at the start of the video, and I look terrible for like 60% of the video, so I'm not going to do that this time. Instead, I'm just going to do the makeup and then I'll do all of that afterwards. So you'll see me au naturel, all my greys, my melon streak up the side. It should look a little bit less weird. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, let's get started. As you can see, this is looking a little bit better. It's been like a week and a half since I filmed the last video, and because of this, I haven't been able to film properly for the last week and a half. You know where you're just busy all the time, and it feels like you're doing nothing, but you're just constantly busy? I've been like that for the last week. And it's been nice busy. Like, I've seen people for the first time in like a year. I got to meet a little hairy friend. I'll include a photo of him somewhere. It's Bucky. He's very cute. So it's been a nice kind of busy. It's just been busy, you know? I feel like I haven't had time to do anything. And I'm currently like 3 weeks behind on Sewing Bee, and I know it's finished now, so please don't spoil it if you've been watching it. I will get round to it. But yeah, like I just haven't had time to catch up with it. I'm 3 episodes behind and I'm like, ugh! Because I know I'm gonna get spoiled sooner or later. And I don't really want that to happen. During the last week I went out and got a yellowy concealer, so I'm going to try that on this and see if it makes it look any better. It's not as bad now. I mean, even if I put foundation on, it'll probably still be there a little bit, but it's, I mean, it can't be as bad as last time. In the last year I haven't done like any digital events, so I had invites for them, but I was like, you know, you get a bit insecure after you've been indoors for a while. I think it'll probably be okay once I get like into the swing of things, but it's a matter of getting into the swing of things, you know? Once there's some powder on, that'll be totally acceptable. I'm not sure if you guys have been keeping up with any of the other preliminaries, so like for World Cosplay Summit, and seeing who else has been selected, because there's been so many great entries. I'm really excited for seeing like what's coming to the table for the UK as well, because it's such a different competition. I mean, I'm fairly sure I said this in the last video, but it's so different this year, and it's like, it's really exciting seeing what people have done for it. It's kind of lit a little bit more of a spark for me to want to get back into competing. Like, I pulled out Shallie earlier. I'm looking over here because this is where the ironing board that's currently housing Shallie is. I haven't made anything as like a big competition costume since KIKO, which was 2017? Oh my god, has it been that long? Wait, no, I mean, I made Eleanor, which I wore in 2018, I think it was. But I didn't make her to be a competition costume. And I guess I didn't with Shallie either, but it's like, it's been so long since I've made something where I can really just delve in and enjoy making something. Again, a lot of it's to do with like body size and like confidence and stuff, which I know it shouldn't, but it bothers me. So many of you will know that I'm quite a fan of Tales of. I've made... I don't even want to think about how many costumes. Tales of Arise has had a bit more information coming out and it's looking very, very good. I like the designs, but I don't think they're necessarily my taste. Or at least like the two leads weren't my taste. Like, I can appreciate them, I think they're very pretty, but on me, no. Absolutely not. Not my kind of costume. So I've been waiting for some more information to come out and like new designs and see if there was any reveals of like other characters, because they always do like a gradual character reveal. And they revealed a couple of characters a while ago, and one of them is Rinwell, who I will put on the screen somewhere. And I liked her design. Admittedly, it's a little bit different from what I normally make, because usually there is pink somewhere on anything that I make from Tales. And this does not have any pink. It has lots of blue and lots of gold, which is very pretty. But again, I was kind of holding off, being like, they might release something that's kind of like the Moe blob of the party. But so far, all of the designs are actually really different from what I expected, but in a really good way. And I think Tales of Arise is looking very different in a good way. But alas, the rest of the party members have been revealed, and Rinwell is most likely the one I'm gonna look to make. I say that. I've already bought the wig. And I've already been looking at ways to do the designs of the cricket, so it's like... I'd say I'm about 90% committed. And I'm not sure if I'll do it for a competition. I know I started this by talking about like competitions and stuff, but it's just one of those designs where there's loads and loads of detail to it. If I just make it for the crack, it might be competition standard at the same time, because I don't like making things by halves now anyway. Like, I like dedicating time to a project, doing things properly. I'm not totally sure on all of the design, just because there's not like any really good references out yet from the current like cutscenes and like promo videos and stuff. So I've got a decent enough idea of how to make it. Though I also know what I'm like, and as soon as an actual reference comes out, I'm gonna be like, well, I've got to remake that now. But, you know, that's part of the excitement, so I might just roll with it and start it soon, see how it turns out, and then if I want to remake bits, well, I usually remake bits anyway. It's just if I can remake it later and make it more accurate, then, you know, it's all good. It's looking alright, but I'm going to add a little bit more blush to the cheeks. Like, Shallie's the kind of character that it'll match well with. I'm going to try this. It's the cute little Sailor Moon Colourpop one. This is Cat's Eye, so it's like a coral kind of colour. If it's too much, well, I'll just have to deal with that later, won't I? I like Colourpop as a brand, but recently it's like, they're making so much stuff, dude. You know where you just wish, and this applies to lots of different things, but like, you know where you just wish a company or a person or whatever would just take a chill pill and just slow it down? Yeah, I feel like that with Colourpop. The stuff I have from them I really, really like, but I just wish they would take a bit more time rather than releasing new things like literally weekly. Because the stuff that's good, like this, is really, really nice. But if they release the same thing 60 times, like, I don't need 60 of the same product, so... And I don't imagine many people do. So it's a bit off-putting as a consumer, where it's like this whole collection mentality, because it's really damaging and it's frustrating, and it's like, I only have a little storage unit, so like, I'm not going to buy more than what I need. It's one of my little thoughts about that. That's looking quite nice. I'm going to put a little bit of bronzer on. Speaking of costumes, I recently bought a wig for another character, quite a classic character. I would argue she is one of the original, like, anime waifus. It is Mizuho Kazami from Please Teacher, which is a series I absolutely adore. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt like this, but back in the day I really wanted to cosplay Mizuho because, like, I mean, my favourite character is Kay, but it's not a very interesting design. Yeah, I wanted to do Mizuho, and I was like, well, I don't feel like I'm gonna suit her because I'm too young. And now I'm 32 and she's, what, like 27 or 28 in the series? I'm like, am I too old now? Am I too old? Have I missed the window? I almost feel like I'm a little too old to cosplay her. Despite it being within my age range. It's not like when I was like 16 or 17 being like, oh, I'm gonna cosplay a teacher. Like, no. But I still don't feel like I've kind of matured enough to look like a teacher. Whatever that means. But yeah, I might see about making her soon. Because her outfit is so simple. It's literally just like a waistcoat and then a skirt. I mean, it's such an ugly colour scheme, but I'm going to try and adjust it and make it look a bit nicer in person. But yeah, I'm curious to see how it'll turn out. Or if I do it at all. Now I've got the wig, I feel a bit more inclined to. do you ever do that? You sort of like, oh, I'd like to do this, but something's holding me back, and then you sort of impulse buy one bit of the costume and you're like, well, I have to do it now. Oh, it's funny. Shallie's quite a Genki character, you know, like typical Genki. So I think adding a little bit more to the makeup is, like, it's not out of place. It's not going to look too much to have a little bit more interest on the makeup, but I'm still keeping it quite simple. I saw recently that MCM has announced that they're running in October. Personally, I think it's too early because I will still be afraid of people by then, but if it's safe enough to run, then like by all means, like events need to run. But I don't think I'll be going to anything until like sort of early next year at the earliest. I was pleasantly surprised that SunnyCon, which is quite a big event, but it's also local, like it's in Newcastle now, they postponed for this year because they were just going to be on the cusp of when places were opening back up. To be able to run the event, but they decided that it wasn't worth the risk because so many people in their demographic wouldn't have been vaccinated by that time. So effectively it would have become like a super spreader event whether they tried to prevent it or not. Got some nice green brows going on. That should do. I'm trying to make them look a little bit less crazed, but the wig covers most of this bit anyway, so I don't know why it matters. But anyway, that's the colour I normally go for, but it looks quite orangey. I'll try the more neutral one. If I don't like it, I can always just wipe it off. So. Yeah, it's looking alright. Cool. I'm going to quickly spray my face and then I shall get to my eyes. I think I'm going to do black eyeliner today. Sorry again, I'm going to be quiet. Cool, so now all I need is mascara, and I figure I haven't really spoke about much in this video, and that's probably okay. I'm just, you know, in the zone. Gotta get stuff done. It's interesting looking at how cosplay competitions have been in the last year. So I think it was, at the time I'm filming this, like yesterday, ICL, International Cosplay League, they announced that they're postponing for another year, which is definitely the right decision to make. If you're going to go to a big international cosplay competition, a big part of that is that you get to go international and you get the experience of doing that. And trying to force competitions to run in a world where you can't go to a restaurant, you can't enjoy the time that you have in a different country, you can't go and travel and explore, it's almost like a wasted opportunity. I get that there's limits on what events can do and what they can push back and what they can sort of expect from competitors, and some people will literally just go do the contest and then leave. But for a lot of people, they will want like the full experience. They'll want to go and they'll want to be able to actually have like a holiday as part of what they're doing, because that's effectively what it is. Like, I mean, I've said before, when you enter a cosplay competition, it's not like winning a holiday, but if you want it to be a holiday, you can definitely add a holiday onto it. So if you enter a contest and you want to have a holiday before or after the competition, by all means, like, do that. It's one of the best things that you can do. I can't imagine how miserable it would be doing something like World Cosplay Summit, and if you go over to Japan, having to eat ramen in your room every single night because you're not allowed in restaurants in large groups, you're not allowed to congregate with people, or worse still, going into a different country and then having to quarantine for 2 weeks. It just doesn't seem like fun. So events that have been postponing, I know ECG's postponed, Euro Cosplay hasn't even announced anything yet. WCS obviously is doing a video division, so it's all just online and it's digital. Most of the big competitions are at the very least postponing or waiting to postpone, and it's just sort of depending on governments and whatever. And I think that's 100% the most sensible thing to do. But it's also like, it's difficult to know the future of events, because when's the next preliminary going to be for a lot of these? Because say if a team who was selected for 2020 is now 2021, 2022, it then means the next preliminary for anyone else who's wanting to enter is going to be at the earliest like 2022 for 2023. And I've had a discussion with a few people where it's like, well, if you're getting a little bit older, if you're kind of my generation-ish, how many of those people are wanting to like start families, or like they have other priorities in life now? There's a couple of people that I know, they've won a qualifier, or they've been going for a qualifier, they've been prepping for a qualifier, and then they're like, well, I can't put off living my life for the sake of a cosplay competition because of everything that's happening with COVID. And I know that's so trivial compared to everything that's happening in the world. There's so many people that I know where this has been like a dream for so long, and they've always wanted to do whichever competition, but now it's becoming less and less of a possibility because of COVID. And it does suck, but it's also like, it's not the end of the world, and even if you don't get to do it now, there's nothing saying that you can't just do it in the future. Like, there's been multiple people in cosplay competitions where they're of like an older generation. It's rude to say that, but it's like where they're not just early 20s, you know? And they've had a great time when they've went, so it's not the end of the world if you can't enter. It's just put yourself first, just cut yourself some slack. Anyway, with all that said, I'm gonna get my wig on and start getting ready, so I will see you in a minute. So I'm back, and as you can see, I'm looking a little bit more colourful than I was before. I did realise I forgot to add any highlighter, so I am gonna quickly do that, and then I've got to run because we're about to start filming. So, you know, going from filming to filming. Ooh, what a start. Cool, I'm pretty happy with that. So this has been a little bit of a, I mean, I don't know if I even spoke about anything interesting. You'll have to let me know. But this has just been a little quick get ready with me for Shallie from Atelier Shallie. If you would like to join us and come and watch the UK preliminaries for World Cosplay Summit, they will be going live on the 26th of June at 4 PM on the Cosplay Central YouTube channel. All the information will be down below, so make sure you come and join us. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear any comments, and if you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, because that really does help. And if you haven't already and you would like to see some more cosplay chatter or some more cosplay get ready with me's, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and you tap the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon.